for me, the ultimate brunch would have to be latkes, which are very similar to hash browns. And I'm going to top it with some smoked salmon, some salmon roe, and it's a must. You need to add some creme fraiche. That mild tanginess goes so well with the crispy, crunchy hash browns. Now, for the hash browns, you can see I've already started here. I've used a food processor just to shred 2 very large Desiree potatoes. Now, you want to place this in cold water so the potatoes don't go brown. So that's a really good tip. Now I need to remove it from this water, squeeze out all the excess. I'm going to place it into a tea towel, so nice big clean tea towel here, gathering it all up. Now, if you don't have a food processor and you still want to do this, no problems at all. All you have to do is shred it on a coarse box grater. So once you've got most of it, I'll just take this little last bit out, spread it out, and then fold it or gather it in your tea towel. I'm just going to roll it to squeeze excess water out, because the more liquid you get out of this, the better the result, the crunchier these little hash browns are going to be. So gather it again, squeeze, and just you can see all of that liquid coming out there, which is a good thing. All right, once you've done that, we're just going to unroll this. And now we can start adding some flavourings. Now, you can keep this very, very simple, a little bit of salt, a little bit of egg and flour, or you can take it a little bit further and add some onion. Now, I've finally grated some onion here. I don't like chunks of onion in this. You just want a subtle flavour. So I'm just going to add 2 spoonfuls of onion, along with some nutmeg. Potato and nutmeg are best friends. So a good amount of freshly grated nutmeg in there. Fabulous. And a handful of breadcrumbs, and then 1 egg to bind this all together. So just crack that into a bowl to start with, and I want to whisk this before I add it into the mixture. So just grab a fork and then a good whisk. Perfect, and then that can go in to our potato mixture, along with 1 more binding agent, some potato starch, or you could use some corn flour for this. And then just with your hands, you want to mix this up, squish it together. The consistency should be like this. You can see how it's just sticking together, just binding. Now you can fry this in olive oil, you can fry it in smolts, that's what my friends use. It's chicken, melted chicken fat, which is delicious. Or even better, I'm going to be using some duck fat, because duck fat and potatoes, well, they love each other. Crispy golden goodness. Look at these gorgeous latkes or hash browns. They are just good enough to eat as is. I'm going to add a little bit of this tangy creme fraiche, 2 or 3 big dollops into a bowl, and I'm going to make it extra zingy with some lemon zest. So just grate that straight into the bowl. Creme fraiche is a fantastic product to use because it's cross between thickened cream and sour cream, and it does have that tanginess, which does make a difference from the classic sour cream. And this lemon is simply going to bring out that extra tanginess there. Now for a little bit of lemon juice, a little squeeze of that in there. And I'm also going to add some herbs. So my herb choice is some dill, so 2 or 3 sprigs, and a little bit of chive. So just finely chop the chives into little rounds. You just need a small handful. I'll chop a little extra for the top, and we'll finally chop this dill. Dill, smoked salmon, potato, all fantastic flavour combinations. Going to scoop that straight into the bowl, and 1 more little mix, just so that is nicely combined so we can see the speckles of herbs. And now we can start assembling. Depending on how hungry you are, I'm going to add, let's say 3 of these hash browns on top. Now for some smoked salmon, you could also use some smoked trout for this. When you take these hash browns out of the pan, just allow them to cool a little bit, because you don't want to be adding some smoked salmon to really hot hash browns, because it's going to start to cook. And now for this gorgeous creme fraiche, just using 2 spoons, I'm just going to make a quenelle just to make it look a little bit fancy. And that can sit just on the top there. And now for some salmon roe. You can get this from all good delis now and also at your fishmonger. And this is to make it look extra extravagant. Oh, it's looking good. And then last but not least, we're just going to get a few little sprigs of dill here and just put them around the plate, just like that. Let it fall down. And don't forget a few more chives on top. That is looking pretty impressive. I'm quite happy with my brunch today. And again, very simple. Classic hash browns cooked really well so they're quite crispy on the outside, paired with some tangy creme fraiche and smoked salmon. So good.